Hello, I'm here with Bishakha Jain, cybersecurity leader. Bishakha, if you want to introduce yourself a little further.
And thank you, Zoe, for calling me a leader. I am Bishakha, a cybersecurity enthusiast all the way from India, and I run and lead a handful of initiatives in cybersecurity. I am the director of Cybersecurity Global Alliance. I am the council representative of Public Safety and Security Council West Bengal. I am the crusader of Make Cyber Simple, and I am the ambassador and advisor at the Women in Cloud Network, and I am the global ambassador at Women Tech Network, and I am also the ambassador for International Imposter Syndrome Awareness Day. So these are the few credentials that I remember, and yes, I am too much human. So yes, that's about me.
Awesome. I'm really thrilled that you list human among all those major accomplishments, because maintaining humanity and in the midst of this world, rather than just hiding or behind a specific technology or system, is just very valuable these days.
Yes.
So tell me one thing, how is leadership transferable from one domain to another?
So I believe in life, in whatever we pursue, we all are leaders. Because if you are a homemaker, you are the leader at your kitchen and your home because you maintain that. If you are a teacher, you are the leader at educating people. If you are a doctor, you are a leader at healing people, right? It's all about mindset. Be what domain it is. A true leader is somebody who makes more leader, and also a person who cares for people. Because, like Theodore Roosevelt said, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So a true leader is somebody who cares.
Well said. Well said. And going off the topic of leadership and how somebody might start, you've given some excellent cybersecurity career talks, including one about charting cyber career paths. Can you talk a little bit about that, a little bit about how learning paths might work, and how to build upon previous skills and previous knowledge sets and bridge them all together into a
So,
cybersecurity career?
yes. So when I entered cybersecurity as a professional, I was very naive and I was a bad student during my engineering because I was not interested in engineering. I wanted to be a doctor all my life. Okay. But when I got into this, I understood the importance of what it is about and why it is important and why the world needs more of us, the cyber warriors, I would say. And that is what helped me to understand that in order to be a holistic cyber person, to embrace the universality of cybersecurity, because it's a vast ocean and deep too. All you need is a correct mindset, and you should always be a hungry learner. The moment you feel that you are the master of something is the moment your career will get finished, because it is very dynamic. Every day something new or the other pops up, comes up, because technology dynamics keeps changing. And why it keeps changing is because it is too much human. Once you are too much into the same thing, you get bored of it. So that is why it's interesting also, right? It's fun to be curious and to, explore. And we have an advantage in cybersecurity that you can be anything you want in life. And what more you need from life than having the privilege of traversing from one domain to other? I mean, that's a blessing in disguise, right? So yes, that's my 2 cents.
Very well said. Very well said about mastery and learning and everything. So, I guess, can you talk a little bit specifically about imposter syndrome and how to overcome it?
Yes. So imposter syndrome is the feeling of being a fraud, and it is more prominent in women than in men because of the age old patriarchy that the world has led by. It is, on the direction we all are moving towards, the direction of equality and inclusion and diversity, but that still has a long way to go to for it to be equal. And in cybersecurity, why imposter syndrome happens is because one person wears multiple hats. If I take my own example, at this point in time, I'm talking to you being a public speaker or an evangelist who addresses people. In the day, in my day's job, I address my organization as a technical person or as a management person. When I go to schools and colleges to educate people on cyber hygiene or cyber awareness, I fit into the shoes of an educator. So there are sometimes people questioning that, are you for real? And how is it possible that one person can do multiple things? But that is the beauty of this domain, right? You get to do like yourself, Zoe. At this point in time, you are into the role of a journalist who is, interviewing somebody else. And that is also a job. So that everything is possible, and the mindset that anything is achievable is something that we can do to overcome imposter syndrome. Because when you grow in the career ladder, and when you climb the career ladder, there will be more challenges coming in, and there will be more self doubts that, can I do it? There will be more high stakes communication situations. And in cybersecurity, usually people are individual contributors, whether you are a journalist, whether you are an auditor, whether you are an ethical hacker, or you are an evangelist. Most of the time, you are an individual contributor. Sure, you might have people to review what you do, or to take care or to give a feedback as to how it was done. But at the end of the day, you're all by yourself running something, or at the back of the back end or in the front end as an evangelist talking. So it's a huge responsibility, and self doubts will be there because we all are human. So to overcome imposter syndrome, I was taught by one of my mentors, the best way is to maintain a gratitude journal. Would you love to see mine? So
I
this
would love
beautiful
that.
journal, yeah, so this beautiful journal is my gratitude journal. See, it has a lock. I mean, I am not sure if, so when I open this, I write, 5 things I am grateful about. So this is every day I set a tone to my day, because I wake up with the idea that this is going to be the best day of my life and I am going to seize this day. That is how I maintain my positive energy, because energy is everything. The energy you put into whatever you pursue in life is what makes you or breaks you. You cannot choose to be a negative person. More so when you have a responsibility in cybersecurity, you are responsible for the people handling the internet, because you are the soldier protecting those datas, or those technical stuff that goes behind everything that is in front. So you can't choose to be a negative person. You are here to give back to the world a good thing, right? So that is how you overcome imposter syndrome. Be the best of yourself. stay in gratitude, spread love. That is how it's done.
Very well said. Very well said. Yeah, that's really good advice. There's no being able to track something and how it builds over time is the way to develop anything, substantial. Regardless of what the career is, what the information or set of knowledge or technologies you're dealing with, it really is very consistent. Um, and as you know, a good part of security, an important part of security or any sort of IT management is, good documentation too. So documenting the human element should be super important, right?
Yes. I mean, whatever you put through the technology, right? If you don't document it well for the next generation to consume or learn from the historical data or the reports, most of your work goes in vain and you cannot afford to do that. So documentation is a part and parcel of every job that we do in cyber. Like, for instance, if I am here to prepare a speech or give a keynote on some topic related to security, I must be prepared with the data and whatever I am planning to deliver to my audience, right? If at all I am an ethical hacker, I need to report the bugs and the problems in the system that I detect, so that the next person who joins the organization after me would be helped through those documentation. If I am an auditor and I find the loopholes in the system, I can stop only what I can spot, and what I have spot will only be known if I document it well. So documentation is that powerful in every aspect of whatever you pursue in this domain or anything else.
So true. So true. Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that. It's yeah, it's super important. And I guess sharing knowledge within the industry consists of so many kind of scopes. Definitely within your team, within your company, or externally, whether it be through an open source organization, for example. If you look at OWASP projects, for example, the OWASP cheat sheet series or others, where you're continuously sharing knowledge that everything continues to update and people can access it. Um, but also, in terms of personal conversations, again, at each of those levels. So, I mean, so as far as mentorship goes, what do you typically view as the most important things that you share with your mentees?
So the first thing I tell my mentees is that it's a two-way street. And before you learn something from me, I am more hungry to learn something from you. And that is how my life has been about, because I love meeting people and learning from them. Sure, they do see something in me that they want to learn from, they want to take you know extract and be walk in that path. But every person has their own journey. Most of my mentees are older than me. I know that's a little too much, but yeah, most of them are older than me. So I learn from their life experiences, and that is more value adding, because you mature in your doings when you learn from such great people. And people who are younger to me, they are more agile, they are more uh, updated with what's going on around, because they're curious. So when you teach younger people, you stay younger, and when you teach older people, you become wise. So yeah, that is my take on mentorship.
Very, very inspiring. And the way that, you've also put all that powerful, insight so succinctly. It's just very impressive. And again, it's also very impressive that your mentees are often older than you. It just shows how great of a learner and a leader you are, and how, you know, yeah, I mean, how quickly you're able to to do all that. Um,
That's really kind. Thank you.
so, and I guess, so one thing that I say is that, it's always good to try to simultaneously mentor and be mentored. Uh,
Yes.
what are your views on that?
Zoe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, oh, so sorry. Okay. So how can a mentee best approach a mentor if they're hesitant or shy, or, I guess experiencing imposter syndrome?
Uh, I have been one of those mentees because I was not even aware of my potentialities. And I have mentioned this on record also that I have been through imposter syndrome. And now that I have overcome it, it does again surfaces. Sometimes it gets triggered. But when talking about mentors like that I have had, when you talk about mentors like Lakshmi Nair or like Soumya Ajay or like Dr. Mansoor Hasib, a true mentor is somebody who gives you the gift of your own abilities. Perhaps through that imposter syndrome, you might have forgotten that part of you that existed once because of self doubt. But as a mentor, they have helped me in finding the older me, the younger version of me, the curious girl, the little girl that I used to be. And how did I approach? I would say I just used to ask questions. And I knew for a fact that they won't judge me. They would be rather happy that I dared or had the audacity to ask question. And no question is a right or a wrong question. Every question is important. So when I used to ask questions, they used to happily answer. And I used to ask more questions after each answer they used to give. And they were very welcoming. So the moment you decide or you consider somebody as a guru, it's a Sanskrit and Hindi word that we use for teachers or mentors. When you start considering somebody as a guru, I think you should not be shy to ask the questions. You should not be shy to show your vulnerable side, because that helps them in mentoring you, because they know of your vulnerabilities and weaknesses. And a true mentor will help you make your weakness a strength. And this is very important, and it has worked magically with me, because mentors like Lakshmi Nair, like Soumya Ajay, like Dr. Mansoor Hasib, they knew the part of me which was not confident. They also understood or sensed that perhaps a little push would, help me grow. All they did was they started challenging me that you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to, and they never pushed me. But of course, they used to just, ignite that light, that flame that was important so that I could shine. And by giving me ideas as to how could I approach a situation or any opportunity, they opened my mind. And that is why mentors are very important, because Although mentoring is a two-way street, but the mentor, a true mentor, will always help you find parts of you that was shy or that was in doubt, to come out with strength and grow from strength to strength.
That's super well said. Super well said. I mean, very powerful about, making the weaknesses strength. I think one thing as far as like, how the world of cybersecurity really um it creates a need to think outside the box and do what hasn't been done and solve complex challenges that, again, have not been seen. And if you don't, continuously, rethink what is a strength, what is a weakness, what, is the current state of something, whether it be on the human side or the technical side, and what can be done to improve upon that or optimize that. And yeah, just continuously thinking about that, from a, kind of continuous feedback and continuous learning approach is just so important. And whether it be journaling, whether it be just, you know, kind of updating the way that you're thinking is just is so important. And when, mentors encourage you to do that and they give you kind of the space to do that on your own too, I think that's quite magical.
Absolutely.
Um, so hmm. So do you see kind of, patterns in that sense, as far as mentorship and what leadership entails across all your leadership roles, even if they're not necessarily security related? You kind of see that, similar pattern as far as that goes.
Yes. So, like I mentioned before, that a true leader makes more leaders and less followers, right? So does good mentors. Like a true mentor, it's the same pattern. They will help you become the best version of yourself, and they won't be intimidated by you. So, because when you shine, or for let's say when you outshine them, your shine reflects on them. This is what Dr. Hasib told me, that whenever you climb up the ladder, please remember that you don't go alone. You have to unleash the collective power. You have to help more people climb that up. If I am mentoring you, he said, it is your responsibility to give back to somebody who also needs the same kind of mentoring. And that has been the idea behind whatever I pursued, or whoever I have, tried mentoring, or whoever came to me for help, because there were some mentors who chose to help me. So it is my responsibility to give back and to carry this chain forward. So the same pattern goes for leadership also. And actually, it's a powerful thing if you think, don't you? Because you have the power to change, or be a light at someone's life. I mean, what better could you have asked for in life, right? To be a part of somebody's important journey. So that is a blessing, massive blessing, don't you think?
Yes, yeah, yes, you're spot on in that. You're spot on that. So I guess, yeah, really, such wisdom, such wisdom. Um, so I guess any closing notes for you may have for viewers of this video, and also how to best get in touch with you.
Uh, I did not get the second question. A
Oh,
note for the viewer.
how
Hmm.
they can best, find you on social media, etc., in order to get more updates from your wisdom.
Okay, so second question first. You can find me on Twitter with my pen name Euphoric Bint and on LinkedIn. The link will be shared in the YouTube video description. Zoe, please do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And also on Instagram, but that is a travel blog, so that is not much of security. But you will find me on Twitter, you know, and as Euphoric Bint. And my final concluding notes is be you, the world will adjust, and keep learning because learning is a lifelong process. The journey will end till the last drop of blood you have in you. And it's good to be a learner for life because it's exciting. You never get bored with what you do. You keep exploring, and life is beautiful because the more the merrier. So be happy, keep learning, and be yourself. That's what I had to say.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zoe, for the opportunity.